Okay, this will be interesting to comment on. So there's a singer called Sabrina Carpenter. She's young. I don't listen to her music. It's poppy. It's cute. It's got, I don't know, catchy tunes. Whatever. She's an artist. She's a singer. I think she's a good one. Who knows? I think she's one of the ones that can sing. Anyway, I don't care. But she's 5 feet tall. And her whole shtick is very sexy, very sexual, kind of funny, whatever. I don't care. Go ahead. Go ahead and do that. But it crosses the line into kind of, I don't know, evoking imagery of incest. Let's just say that. Okay? It's a little over that line. Well, that's a little yucky for me because I'm 5 feet tall. And I have received that kind of attention in my life. And I'm a lot older than Sabrina Carpenter, a lot older. And so I have a lot of, hindsight and a lot more wisdom and a lot more understanding of what all of those advances were actually when I didn't realize what they were in the moment. And they were nasty. And that is not something to joke with. And it is certainly not something to encourage. And I guarantee there's a lot of men who are getting that kind of enjoyment from Sabrina Carpenter. And there's a lot of different ways that they could be presenting her. She's a beautiful woman. Doesn't matter if you're 5 feet. You don't have to look like a little girl. You don't have to present yourself like a little girly vixen. You don't. Well, she came out with an album cover, and it's just so predictably disappointing. And listen, her fans, for some reason, believe that your person that you love can't make a mistake and you have to defend them at all costs. And if you don't, then you are not a loyal fan and you have to eviscerate the people who don't like the one thing that the artist that you love did. Everybody needs to realize a lot of people make bad choices in their lives, and that's going to happen, and you don't have to jump off a cliff with them. You can disagree, you don't have to say anything about it, and move on. But this was a bad decision. It was a really uncreative, really not cool decision. I mean, come on. Frankly, little girls are growing up and becoming aware of sex through porn. And that means they're going to have a lot of years of needing to unlearn what they learned about sex through porn before they can even start to have a decent sexual relationship when they get old enough to realize, hey, this is not about me. And I really need to take some control here and I need to decide what I want to get out of this. And then I need to unlearn all the crap that I was taught about how I'm supposed to be used in this situation. So listen, Sabrina Carpenter is young. She probably doesn't have a full picture on this. She doesn't have the wisdom of age, but she is playing right into a system that isn't good for her. That's something that she's going to have to unlearn later on if she really wants to get to the parts of her that are going to give her the most pleasure, the most satisfaction, and the most access to her higher self. And that's just the reality of it. I'm sorry, girls. We are not wired the way men are. We are not going to get the most pleasure through the way that they get pleasure. And the way that they objectify us is not the way to get ourselves pleasure. There's so many more creative ways to do this. And my goodness, as a person who has lived a creative life, boy, for that creative team to have just sold out and done this, come on, been there, done that. Pull up any pictures. They might as well copied it from old advertisements. And whatever, don't tell me it's 4D chess, okay? I don't need that whole thing. So that's disappointing. It just is, especially when there's a horrifying case that's going through the courts with P. Diddy. I don't know if he's Diddy, whatever he's called. He's a monster. He's a monster. He is a monster. The things that he did to another human being so that he could fill up the holes in himself, horrific. That is a broken man. That is a very mentally ill man. That is a man who's so broken, and he thought that he could take out his brokenness on a woman. And a lot of other men got in on it, and this woman absorbed all of it at the expense of her psyche. So can't we just find more creative ways to allow women to express themselves that don't look like the wet dream that men have decided was their ultimate fantasy a very long time ago? Because it's boring. It's not interesting. And frankly, girls, if you really think that that is going to be exciting in the long run, you're going to end up disappointed. You really are. So I suggest that you start getting in touch with yourself and what really love and sex and all of that good stuff is about. Away from the whole porn world, because it's not It's not what you're being taught when you're young. It isn't. It is not. So, anywho, Sabrina Carpenter's creative team, do better. Really, come on. Your fans deserve a lot better. And they're young girls, and they're also nasty old men. And you don't want that demographic, do you? So, like, do different, do better. Okay? All right. Anywho, to those of you who are really upset because I just said something that you disagree with, I hope you will breathe, I hope you will take a moment, and I hope you will forgive me for having a different opinion, because that's how we are in the world. We have different opinions. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person because you think differently. Doesn't mean that I'm a bad person because I think differently. I just have a different opinion, and I have concerns for how this is going to play out on the lives of girls. And I'm raising 2 of them, so, I have some skin in the game here. Okay? Anywho, love ya.